In a rare and special gesture, Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally welcomed the Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, at the airport. The Amir is on a two-day state visit to India at the invitation of Prime Minister Modi. This marks his second visit to India, having last come in March 2015. The two leaders were seen exchanging warm hugs and engaging in conversation as they were greeted at the airport. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar was also present to welcome the distinguished guests. Such a personal reception by the Prime Minister at the airport is highly unusual, as typically the External Affairs Minister and other senior officials take on this role. Well, let's take a look at some of the instances when PM has received world leaders at the airport. In 2015, when it was the then US President Barack Obama who arrived in New Delhi, that the Prime Minister received him as well. In 2017, it was Sheikh Hasina, who in fact was then the Bangladesh Prime Minister, when she arrived as well, was received. In 2018, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, arrived and was greeted by PM Modi at the airport. In 2018, Abdullah bin Al Hussein, Jordan's king, arrived in New Delhi and the PM received him. In 2019, Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia's crown prince, was received by PM Modi at the airport as well. Let's also, in fact, take you through what are, of course, the most important statements that have been made as far as the Prime Minister, he has welcomed the Qatar Amir, of course, but look at the kind of responses coming in. Waris Pathan, who's an MLA, AIMIM MLA, has come out to say that the PM loves Videshi Muslims. That's a statement that has come in from Waris Pathan. Why is there hate for Desi Muslims is the statement that he's making. Also, of course, it'd be rich and the Prime Minister will fetch you from the airport, says Supriya Srinath. Clothing doesn't matter if you are rich, she says. They hate people of this attire in India is her following comment, and that PM's feelings will change if you are rich. There's also B.V. Srinivas, who's a Youth Congress leader, who says that PM Modi will hug you if you're rich. That's a statement that he's making. Let's quickly take a look at some of the reactions coming in on the story.
आप ही लोग दिखाए थे एक बार स्टेज पे कोई टोपी पहना रहा था, उसको बाजू कर दिया गया था। आप ही लोग दिखा रहे हैं कि जो है अगर चेन्नई में कोई मुसलमानों को 2 घंटे पहले रमजान हो तो ये तुष्टिकरण हो गया। भाई अगर शेख आया वहाँ से तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, गले मिलिए, उसको बुलाइए, उनको रखिए, लेकिन मुसलमानों से नफरत मत कीजिए। वो भी मुसलमान है, एक मुसलमान से बहुत मोहब्बत, वो शेख है वहाँ का, दूसरा मुसलमान हिंदुस्तान का है, इससे नफरत, ये नफरत खत्म करिए।
प्रधानमंत्री doesn't hug any Muslim in India. He can't wear even topi of any Muslim. He can hug head of the states, but he has no respect for the Muslim of his own country.
All right, let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us with us is, in fact, Rohan Gupta, national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have with us Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst. Sumaya Rana is national spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, and Rohan Mitra is leader of the Congress Party. Let me start first and foremost with Rohan Mitra. Rohan Mitra, many would say that what is the need to make such a comment? At the end of the day, when it is talking about heads of state, there are certain protocols, there are certain countries that India may have its best strategic interest, nationally speaking, and that's what's reflected. Why personalize this and make this about the Prime Minister is a question many would ask. Rohan.
Almost there is no problem with the Prime Minister going out of his way to, welcome the Amir of Qatar. That's welcome. That's the part of Indian culture. We respect that. The problem is, Madhav, and this question should be from the media as well. During the Lok Sabha 2024 elections, we saw the words the Prime Minister then chose to speak about the Muslims of India. The words, there was a survey done later where they said out of the 174 speeches the Prime Minister made, there was 110 references which could be considered Islamophobic. We see constantly Hemanta Biswa Sharma, the Jharkhand people, the BJP leaders, they keep talking about Ghuspetiyas, they keep talking about Muslims as, people who are always anti-national, and the question is never asked. So the point is, the opposition wants to know, yes, the Emir of Qatar has come, very good, the Prime Minister received him. He's one of the most richest individuals, and he might bring some business for the Prime Minister's friends. But what is happening with the people of India who are Muslim, who reside here, who are poor, and who are taken for granted, and who are taken to pieces by the Prime Minister. and
Rohan Gupta.
BJP.
Let Rohan Gupta respond to that. Rohan Gupta is the BJP spokesperson. Muslims of India taken for granted. There are several statements that are being made which are anti-Muslim during the course of the campaign, and it's only because he is a rich individual who may be bringing in investment that this treatment is being meted out, says Rohan Mitra. Please respond.
See, this is the problem of serious mindset problem of opposition leaders, opposition parties. They can't see the things in the light of what on the spirit of it. They don't know that we are the third largest trade partner of Qatar. I'm using these words very, very strongly. Once they are our partners, our PM is receiving their supremo in that spirit, even that also that you have a problem. Why are you linking everything with the domestic things? Why are you linking everything with religion? You have to come out of it. And PM has always said he's against the politics of Tushtikaran. He wants politics of Santushtikaran. You tell me under PM Modi, which of our friends from minority they are deprived of any government schemes? Is there any differentiation between people seeing the caste, religion or seeing nothing? This is the mindset of the opposition leaders and they have problem with anything. And this is the problem why, Madhav, because of the mindset of opposition leaders in the process of opposing Mr. Modi, they are opposing the country. Mind you, they are opposing the third largest trade partner of India because of their negative mindset. They need to change the mindset. And people of India, they have defeated this mindset in Lok Sabha election and all the elections after that, whenever in states, the elections have happened. Still they don't realize. Right. Every time they divide and rule. No, it's not about Tushtikaran. It is about Santushtikaran.
Okay, let me bring in Sumaya Rana, national spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. It's not about Tushtikaran ki Rajniti, it's about Santushtikaran. And at the end of the day, if this is a matter of diplomacy and about securing India's interests, internationally speaking, why do we link it to domestic issues is the question being asked here by the BJP spokesperson. Sumaya Rana, your response.
There is a very hit song from the very old film Aankheं. कि गैरों पे सितम, गैरों पे करम, अपनों पे सितम, ए जाने वफा ये जुल्म ना कर. It is for प्रधानमंत्री of our country. अभी मैं स्पोक पर्सन को सुन रही थी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के, वो ये कह रहे थे कि इनसे बेवकूफियों से बाहर आना चाहिए, दिल बड़ा करना चाहिए. मुझे लगता है कि जब देश में ये बातें हों, जब प्रधानमंत्री मुसलमानों की टोपी लगाने से गुरेज करें और कतर और सऊदी के और मुस्लिम कंट्रीज के शेखों से बड़े बड़े इनामात लेकर के आए, तो यहाँ पर सवाल बनता है. सवाल यहाँ पर तब भी बनता है जब इस देश के गरीब कुचले मजलूम मुसलमानों के ऊपर जुल्म हो रहा हो, बुलडोजर्स चल रहे हों, कपड़ों से पहचाने जा रहे हों अपराधी. वहां पर प्रधानमंत्री जी कतर के अमीर को, और या इससे पहले जो पूरी एक फहरिस्त गिनवाई आपके चैनल पे कि 2018 में ये आए थे और 2015 में ये आए थे और ही वॉज देयर टू रिसीव एम्बेसडर्स ऑफ डिफरेंट मुस्लिम कंट्रीज. उस वक्त में ये सवाल कौन करेगा? इस देश के लोग करेंगे, क्योंकि जिस वक्त में मुसलमानों को आप इतनी हेट नजर से देख रहे हो, आपने एक नारे के बावजूद सबका साथ सबका विकास वाला जो नारा था ढोंग का, उसके बाद भी एक बड़ा फर्क आप मुसलमानों के साथ करते आए हैं. अभी एक छोटा सा एक
तेलंगाना से heads of state, just to correct you on a small factual point, but you have made, but let me bring in Karan Verma on the point that you are making. Karan Verma, politics of hate being played out here in the country, domestically speaking, but you know, when there are similar images coming in from the airport, no less, these questions are bound to be asked. Once again, that's a point being made by the SP spokesperson. Please respond.
नहीं, माधव, आई एम सो सरप्राइज्ड व्हेन द एसपी स्पोक्सपर्सन सेज दिस. इनका कहना है अपनों से सितम. भाई, अपनों से क्या अगर बात करें, मुस्लिम्स आर 14.2% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. 31% ऑफ द होम्स इन द पीएम आवास योजना हैव बीन गिवन टू मुस्लिम्स. 33% of the funds in the Mudra loans have been given to Muslims. 36% of Kisan Samman Nidhi given to Muslims. Muslims have done better in scholarships, in skilling, and so many other parameters under this government. In fact, this government has done more for Muslims than previous governments put together.
One by one, please. One by one, yeah.
So, topic क्या change कर रहे हैं? He's delivered for Muslims, even though the two are not linked. Even though the two are not linked, Madhav, but she's factually incorrect on every parameter. Pick up every parameter. Whether it's the UPA and compare it to the last 10 years. Muslims have flourished in every sphere. Even in fact, the 25 crores who've come out of the poverty line, many of them happen to be Muslims. A large share happen to be Muslims. So what are you actually trying to say here?
Sumaya Rana. Okay, Sumaya Rana.
This government has actually delivered. Instead of resorting to minority appeasement, where you use them as a vote bank, this government's delivered the goods.
Okay, तुष्टिकरण नहीं संतुष्टिकरण. The question comes again.
तो
Response सुमैया राणा.
जब देश में जब देश के अंदर हेट स्पीच होती है मुसलमानों के खिलाफ, जब जहां पर यह मुहिम तैयार की जाती है कि मुस्लिम वेंडर्स से सामान नहीं लिया जाएगा, उस वक्त प्रधानमंत्री जी को आगे आके ये बोलना चाहिए देशवासियों से कि कतर के साथ हमारा एक मजबूत बॉन्ड है, 70% ऑफ ट्रेड आई एम डूइंग विद द कतर, मुस्लिम कंट्रीज से तेल भी आ रहा है। तो इस तरीके की बिल्कुल बेसर पैर की बातें ना होनी चाहिए देश में, अगर देश तरक्की की तरफ ले जाना हो। ये प्रधानमंत्री की जिम्मेदारी है। सिर्फ तोहफे तहाइफ लेकर के चुपचाप बैठना और अपने मतलब के वक्त में मुस्लिम कंट्रीज के अमीरों को गले लगाना, इस पर सवाल बनता है और बनता रहेगा।
ओके, करण वर्मा.
मैडम अगर हेट स्पीच हुई है ना इस देश में, तो वो हुई है कि सनातन डेंगू मलेरिया है। इस तरह की हेट स्पीच कभी भी मुस्लिम्स के विरुद्ध नहीं हुई है। Here an entire dharma was called dengue malaria, and you are in alliance with those people, DMK. They have said Sanatan needs to be eradicated. The worst of abuses have been given to Hindu gods and goddesses.
मतलब कपिल मिश्रा ने क्या फूल बरसाए?
Don't play this victim card that hate speech is directed towards Muslims.
आप बोलना क्या चाह रहे हो? आप फैक्ट्स पे बात करिए।
देखिए, बीच में मत बोलिए अब।
एक करिए. Yeah, one by one. सुमैया राणा, you can respond. Once again, let me make this point.
बात कर रहा हूं, आप क्या बोलना चाहते हो? You said hate speech is directed towards Muslim. Entire dharma was called dengue malaria. But we will not play victim and say, oh, there is hate speech against Hindus. No, there are instances of hate speech, and that is religious agnostic, I would say. That has happened to everyone. But that doesn't mean this government has not delivered the goods. Don't try to paint a few examples here and there as the general picture of this country. आपने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया, ना मुसलमानों के लिए किया, पीडीए के लिए बोलते हैं दलितों से स्कॉलरशिप छीन ली, तो आपने तो कुछ ना किया, सिर्फ टोकनिज्म दिया। टोकनिज्म से ये देश आगे बढ़ चुका है मैडम। अगर किसी के साथ सबसे ज्यादा हेट स्पीच हुई है तो वो हिंदूज के साथ हुई है, बट दे डोंट प्ले विक्टिम.
Okay, let me bring in others also. Let me bring in Syed Asdabad. Syed Asdabad, at the end of the day, you know, if you're going to talk about hate speech, then the hate speech of various opposition leaders is also going to be talked about at the end of the day. You know, we have leaders from the AMM and other political parties who've made extremely objectionable comments.
Absolutely. And they must be reprimanded for it, be it I.N.D.I.A, be it DMK. But that cannot be generalized. Oh, hate speech has been made against all the religions, so it's okay. No, sir, absolutely not, Mr. Verma. It does not make it okay. And therefore, Adarnya Pradhan Mantri Modi ji needs to take stern action against all those leaders like Ramesh Biduri and C.T. Ravi and so many of your leaders of the BJP. He also called Qatari Amir as his brother, which is absolutely great. I think that Modi ji, you know, on a positive note, has done great for the country, be it the Qatari Amir or Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia and various other leaders from the Gulf countries. But the fact of the matter is, when our own Pradhan Mantri says writers can be identified by their dress, not just that, he addresses the Muslim community as a zyada bachche karne wale. Is that right? Is that even fair? Let us understand that, yes, the government policies have been fantastic for us Muslims, no doubt about it. But why, sir? Why doesn't the Bharatiya Janata Party give one ticket, just one ticket to the Muslim community who are his brothers? When he speaks of Sabka Saath, when he speaks of Sabka Vikas, when he sees of Sabka Vishwas, एक टिकट तो दीजिए मोहतरम, एक टिकट तो मुसलमानों के लिए दीजिए. और just 30 seconds.
Quickly make a point. 10 seconds.
बात करते हो when it comes to taking action against those communal leaders, just because हो हिंदुओं के खिलाफ किया है, सबके खिलाफ किया है, no sir. हिंदुओं के खिलाफ किया हो या मुसलमानों के खिलाफ किया हो, action must be taken against those particular political leaders. Be it Udayanidhi Stalin, be it Raja Singh, be it Ramesh Biduri, or be it C.T. Ravi, or
Rohan
Kapil
Gupta,
Mishra.
at the end of the day, you know, it's all about talk, not enough action. That's the main complaint coming in from Abbas's side. Your response?
See, absolutely, there is a basic difference between Tushtikaran and Santushtikaran. I think a lot of people give example of why PM is not wearing cap and all these things. See, that is what we are saying. It is all equal. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. जितना हिंदुओं का है उतना मुसलमानों का है. आप individual statement को you cannot generalize as the policy of our PM. We need to understand that all our Muslim brothers and sisters, they have grown. When triple talaq bill came, it has benefited Muslim Mahilas. If you see Delhi 14, just let me complete. If you see Madhav in Delhi, if you see the number of votes, around 10 to 12% Muslims, they have voted for BJP. They understand what is where the country is going. You need to forget. You need to stop this old precedent. When the Waqf board bill
how many
comes,
tickets
the
did you give to
BJP stand
Muslims,
was
sir?
very clear
Rohan
that
bhai,
Waqf property, everybody, all the
Muslimanon ko
Muslim
ticket
One
One
second.
should be
One second.
benefited.
We'll come to
Not
that. You know,
converting that
whether or not, Syed
So
Abbas and Rohan Gupta,
everything
one
is
second.
about custom.
Leave aside our domestic politics. Syed Abbas, let me assume that everything you've said about domestic politics is absolutely correct. Does that take away from the fact that this is a diplomatic visit? This is a person who's the head of a country which has, played an important role in saving the lives of at least 7 individuals who were sentenced over there in Qatar, and one of them continues to remain in Qatari soil. Would you suggest that the government of India treat this person badly? That we not honor and respect this individual? And what are we trying to equate this to at the end of the day? There are lives at stake of people here.
Like I said, Madhav Saab, the fact of the matter is that, of course, when it coming to the economic development of this country, it is great. Let me just share quickly an anecdote with you. Do you know Qatari expatriates bring in great development economically here in Bangalore city? Many of the hospitals run thanks to Qatari, Omani, Saudi expatriates who come here for their treatments. Same helps in the hospitality section, for the hotels, for the restaurants. It's absolutely great to have good relations. No doubt about it. All I'm trying to derive the point is, as much as you love and hug the great leaders of Gulf countries, please love us Muslim brothers also. Give us ticket to contest in
Well,
Delhi
nobody is going to argue against that.
like
One
to
has just
reply.
got to remember that in these cases, whether it is the King of Jordan, whether it is, other Muslim countries, including, of course, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, the point is there are larger strategic interests at play over here, particularly in those countries where there's a huge presence of Indians, and that's something all of us will have to keep in mind. Rohan Gupta, Karan Verma, Syed Abbas, Sumair Rana, as well as Rohan Mitra, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening.